Hello and welcome to the latest episode of CTB Tyre Talks, filmed on location at the Road Transport Expo in Stoneleigh. For today's episode, publisher David Wilson was able to interview Richard Bezzant, Hankook's marketing director for truck and bus tyres in Europe, about the company's strategy and plans to expand its position in the European market. So let's go over to Hankook's stand at the RTX right now.
Well, I'm here today on the Hankook stand at the Road Transport Expo in Stoneleigh, and our guest on CTB Tyre Talk today is Richard Bezzant, who's the Marketing Director, Truck and Bus Europe for Hankook. Morning, Richard, and welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me to this. So it's I know we talked about it a little while ago, and it's taken a while to come around, but yeah, it's great to actually finally sit down and talk tyres with you and talk all things Hankook.
Absolutely. Well, we're here today at the UK's biggest trade show for the CV sector. Well, perhaps we can start by taking a wider view at the European market to start with. Could we start by you giving us an overview of Hankook's priorities for the truck and bus sector in the European markets over the course of the next couple of years or so?
Of course, no problem. And I think the first thing that we have to think when we think about our strategy is it's about leading and about growth in Europe and really securing our position within the European market and growing our business within the TBR sector. So we're making significant investments with new factory in Hungary, which we'll come on to later.
Yeah.
But it's really about leadership and growth, and then partnering with our distribution partners to help us move that forward. So if you take across Europe itself, so far this year we've had a very good start to the year. We've had growth in both market share and in terms of volume, so the two are going quite well together. And that's really a foundation of growing with some of the larger fleets, which traditionally have been the place where we're trying to do a lot more sophisticated offers with them. So really starting to work with larger fleets who want more complicated solutions, who are wanting things to outsource their products, outsource some of their services too, where historically our business is being grown step by step, piece by piece, from working with our distribution partners, working with the medium and more local fleets. And our next step of our growth is really opening those wider offers to bringing to our fleet partners and future fleet partners full offers of tyre management and all of those things. That will help us to have our growth, to maintain our growth strategy as we move forward.
Okay, well, you mentioned briefly the plans for the new plant in Hungary. Could you give us an update, please, as to the timeline for the Hungarian plant and what it will bring to Hankook's position in the truck market in Europe?
Okay, yeah, no problem. So the good news, and coming into this role, the thing I'm very happy about, is on time, and so from 2027 we will see tyres in the markets produced at that plant. The plant will produce at full capacity 827,000 tyres per year, which for TBR is a large plant and a good proportion of our European consumption. But our role is really to make sure that we can consume, and we do today, consume more than that. The products coming out of that plant will be our newest technology products.
Okay.
So making sure we have all the new technology coming into Europe. And it's really about that investment of over 500 million euros is very, very much around bringing the production closer to our customer base. Europe represents nearly 40% of our TBR tyre consumption. So it's about bringing that closer to our customers, making sure we can reduce those lead times and inventories to really speed up that process and really be a true partner of our customers.
Okay, well, you talked about the customers, you mentioned them before. So I wanted to talk with you about how you interact with your dealer customers across Europe. Could you give us some insight into how you've developed your network in the truck and bus sector, and whether you have any specific aims with regards to expanding or developing your relationship?
So as part of our growth strategy, our networks become more and more important. Our historical position has been working with our partners to put our tyres into the market, a sales guy visiting the fleet, distributor speaking with the fleet and partnering in that way. As we take the next steps, it's very much around having service partners as well. So to complement everything we have, to have our service partners and building a true service network.
Yes.
Today we have Road Assist 24, our European breakdown network. So that starts to bring European breakdown business to our partners. And then in the UK, for example, we now are starting to have our own managed contracts. So again, supporting our partners by bringing them service work, making sure that we're easy to get hold of the stock and delivering our stock to them so it's always available, giving them retread solutions to then be able to give all those needs to the customer, and bringing other products to make sure the portfolio is completely there for both the larger fleets, the distributor supplying everybody as we go through.
So next I wanted to change the subject slightly and talk about sustainability. And obviously this is one of the key buzzwords at the moment where everyone's talking about sustainability in the tyre sector. So can you give us an overview, please, on the work Hankook's doing to keep itself at the forefront of discussions on sustainability?
Yes, no problem. And I think the first thing is that it actually doesn't change the subject that much because it's a key part and a key thought process within the industry. And secondly, it links a huge part into why we've made our extra investments into the Hungary plant.
Yeah.
Because that first aspect, which is that we're reducing our carbon footprint by having products made in Europe, supplying our fleets in Europe. So we're straight away reducing the transport of our goods and reducing the CO2 from that way. But that's the first step, because we know that the use of products, 85% of the environmental impact of a product is in its use phase, not in the manufacturing. So once we get to that use phase, we're talking about improving roll and resistance. And we've just brought out the TL50, so it's our first A-rated trailer tyre. So that's our first triple-rated tyre, and now we have a full range of long-haul product that's all energy efficient. In terms of materials, making sure that we're increasing the amount of reused and recycled materials in our products, always brought sustainably from that, always brought in from a sustainable aspect. In terms of retreadability, we all know that retread market is a difficult market, and you guys report on that quite a lot. It's a difficult market, and that's also where the importance of our fleet offering becomes very important to us in terms of how we can embed retread within our offers. So we have a strong retread offer today. Our casings are all retreadable. We're improving the structure of our casings to increase those acceptance rates constantly. So all of those things packaged together start to give us that improvement in our CO2 emissions to support our fleets. The last piece I would say to add to that is, in the end, the longer a tyre is on a vehicle, the less environmental impact it makes. So the longer that lasts, the better mileage that tyre does, the better managed that tyre is in terms of its pressure, the less impact it will always have. So we will always strive to make sure that we've got our products lasting on trucks as long as possible. Mileage is the key, and then you bring those other aspects there with it.
Okay. So the next question I had was regards to branding. Hankook is obviously your main corporate brand, but you also have a secondary brand, Laufenn. So I wanted to ask, how does this brand fit into your portfolio? What's the importance of the brand, and how are you looking to develop that brand in the market?
So the brand's been brought in specifically to help grow and strengthen our portfolio. As Hankook being a premium brand, we start to offer a lot more things to a lot of fleets. Now, I use the analogy of airlines.
Yeah.
You can use a budget airline, and you can fly from A to B, and you can do everything around that, and you're happy because you got from A to B. Was the experience that good? It was fine, and you made sure that your needs were met. And then you've got British Airways or a larger carrier. And at that point, you're expecting a few more things. And that's really, everybody has different needs and different wants. And that's really where these products fit in. We have to stick to our core. So Laufenn is very much around sticking to our core of performance, giving a good mileage to our customers, and making sure that our distribution partners have got a range that they can trust, a range that will do what's needed by the customers asking for that. At the same time, we have our Hankook, which then gives that extra piece on top, more mileage, more technology, and those types of things.
Good. Okay, so I wanted to finish off by talking about your presence here this week at Road Transport Expo. Wanted to ask you what your key focal points were on your stands. You know, what new products you have, both in terms of tyres, but also in terms of services for fleets.
So we know this show is the biggest one in the UK. It's the one that's closest to our customers, both current and target customers. So it's all very much, and as you look around and you look around the stand, it's very much around building and showing our customers our full offer that we have, how we can solve their challenges with where we have. So where we have our retread products, we have our latest, we have the TL50, so we have the long haul range. We have our AL and DL 50 product, which is that hybrid product that gives you good mileage, but also a good fuel efficiency. We've got the core of our offer, which is the AH and DH51 with the TH31, which is that regional offer, which is really giving you and bringing you that mileage. At the same time, we are also talking, and in the UK this year, we've launched some management offers. So we're talking with our customers around how we can better support them with these types of management offers, central billing and things. And the last part that's it's not new, and we brought it here last year, is our EV bus tyre.
Yeah.
So dedicated EV bus tyre. We know within the public transport sector, the volume and the percentage of EV buses needs to increase, and it's increasing rapidly. And that means you have to have specific tyres designed for that. It follows our PCR direction, where we have dedicated tyres towards our Ion tyre dedicated towards EV vehicles, because we believe at Hankook that you have to have the right tyre designed to do that job. And compromise is the thing that you have to do last. It's about making sure it's designed to do what's needed.
Yeah. And of course, the bus market is equally important as the truck market. So
Absolutely.
And you'll be exhibiting later in the year at the Euro.
So we'll be at Euro Bus, and personally, I'm very excited about that. And I'm also very excited. So in September, we'll also be at the IAA Transportation.
Of course, yes.
So going back to our strategy and what we want to achieve, IAA, it's the first time since 2018 that we've been there. We'll have the factory to talk about. We'll have new products to talk about. We've got a new winter range. We've got new products to bring to market all at that time. So it's a big change, and it's really being in the right place to demonstrate where we are, what we are, and really drive our business forward.
Okay, well, we definitely look forward to seeing you at those shows later in the year. Thanks very much for your time today, Richard. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your valuable insights, and we look forward to seeing you again on the CTB Tyre Talk in the near future.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Well, that concludes another episode of CTB Tyre Talks. Many thanks to Richard Bezzant and to the Hankook team for their hospitality and cooperation in helping us to prepare this episode, and we look forward to presenting you with another episode of CTB Tyre Talks soon.